Welcome to Soul Driven Sports Talk. I'm your host, Damo Unleash. We are going to recap this amazing game between Cleveland Browns and the Indianapolis Colts. I'm kind of a fan of both teams, man. I'm from Ohio. I was a Colt fan ever since they traded for Eric Dickerson in the mid 80s. The Cleveland Browns is my hometown team. I didn't like them, and I think it had more to do with the fans. But they've kind of grown on me since, especially when they picked up Deshaun Watson. So I just want to do a recap of the game, man. It was a very interesting game. It's sad that the ending came down the way that it came down. Because I have to admit, man, those were some, not the first PI call, but that second PI call, that was questionable, even though it was an uncatchable ball where, man, the defender was tugging on his arm. So that's a call that could have gone either way, yes. But because it was so high and so uncatchable, that's what makes it a controversial call. So I want to break down. I'm more of a fan, right, of the Cleveland Browns than the Colts. So I want to break down the Cleveland Browns offense, defense, and special teams. So we're going to start with the offense, okay? To the Cleveland Browns organization, you guys, the front office, the coaching staff, you guys should be absolutely ashamed of yourself. Deshaun Watson had no business being out on that field. I was on Instagram and I was watching the short videos of, his throwing, and you could see that he still had a hitch, that his arm was still bothering him. And I bet you, because the offense looked so bad, that they pressured him into playing. And I get it. You guys are paying him $230 million plus, over the next couple of years to play. But if the goal is the Super Bowl, and this dude got a messed up, a sore rotator cuff, why would you waste him on the sixth or seventh game of the season? Knowing he's hurt. Not only knowing that he's hurt, but knowing that you guys got him behind that trash offensive line. That offensive line is horrible. I don't care if you had Joe Namath, Joe Montana, I don't care who was playing quarterback. They're not going to be productive behind that offensive line. Now, don't get me wrong, the Indianapolis Colts defensive line isn't no slouch, but they just lost Stewart for about 6 games, and he's their probably second best run stuffer lineman, Grover Stewart, on that team. And so them guys, the Cleveland Browns line, couldn't run block, they couldn't pass block, and it was just frustrating. I wasn't shocked that Deshaun Watson ended up injured again. And hopefully the little rotator contusion isn't worse than it was prior to. Me personally, I thought you guys should have sat him another game, maybe even 2. But now that it's, that the game already ended, that's neither here or there. Let's talk about it. A lot of you Brown fans, y'all want to see P.J. Walker so bad. P.J. Walker is horrible. And the Browns, if he plays another 3-4 games, the season over with. I don't care if you had the 85 Bears defense. I don't care if you had the Purple People Eaters defense. With P.J. Walker behind center, y'all aren't going. We ain't going to no damn playoffs. I'm sorry. It ain't going to happen. He is horrible. I don't even know how it took them reps to help them on the 1 yard line for them to even have a chance. Because this dude's accuracy is horrible. Horrible, man. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? And with that offensive line, I don't care if y'all got Deshaun Watson behind it. I don't care if y'all got PJ Walker. I don't care if y'all put PJ Tucker behind there. And y'all, the Cleveland Browns, if y'all don't fix that offensive line, ain't going to be no playoffs this year. It's just not. They couldn't give either one of them quarterbacks time to really even look down the field. And the Indianapolis Colts was getting so much pressure that both quarterbacks was hurrying up and rushing passes. Now, I think Deshaun Watson, his passes look so bad because I just simply think that his shoulder isn't as healthy as they're leading on that it is. But PJ Walker, man, you was throwing to Jesus. Man, you was throwing that ball to Shaq. I thought Shaq was out there. Or Victor was out there. I mean, it was horrible. Maybe Tim Duncan was playing wide receiver. That's how high some of them passes was. And even the short intermediate passes, man, were you throwing rockets? Why are you throwing rockets like the one you threw to David Njoku? Why did you have to fling that? It was a forward pass, but why do you have to throw it so hard? You ain't bowling, man. So now that we got that out of the way, that horrible offensive line, let's get to Coach Stefanski. Man, you need to lose your damn job. How many times is you going to run the ball up the middle for 1 yard? But then again, it probably wouldn't have mattered either way. Because when you pitched it on one, they end up being a fumble. And then when you pitched it on another one, they end up being a 6-yard loss. But then you can't dial up no misdirection runs to keep that defense honest. None. Because they wasn't threatened by the pass game, obviously. So y'all couldn't have no end of rounds, double reverses, nothing to get the run game going. Nothing to give them to think about. Man, Kevin Stefanski, if you're calling calls, do us a favor. I want you to take the playbook and give it to the offensive coordinator. And don't ever again look at the playbook. You just go ahead and manage the team. Don't call no more plays. That's the best favor you can do from all Browns fans, and I mean that wholeheartedly. And I think I speak for the majority of us that we would like to see you hand that damn playbook over to an offensive coordinator. Because obviously, you don't know what the hell you doing. So now that we got the coaching out of the way, we're going to switch over to this defense. This, we the best in the world defense. Denzel Ward, you had absolutely, I know you had that interception, but you, sir, had an absolutely horrible game. That, I don't know why, you playing man to man. Maybe you didn't watch enough video, but the best deep threat that the Colts have is Josh Downs. How the hell did you leave him open, that wide open? You're supposed to be the warden, shutting down at least one half of the field. And Josh Downs did nothing but catch 5 balls for 125 yards and a touchdown. And to be honest, he probably should have more yards. Dude was running free. The linebacker core for the Cleveland Browns, can y'all please? Okay, we know it's an aggressive defense. We get it. But can y'all please quit over pursuing running backs? Y'all did the same thing with the Baltimore Ravens. You guys are over pursuing. You're not, you can be aggressive and read and react without over pursuing. And then the missed tackles. God dang it. You play defense. That's what you do. That's your job, to tackle. Why, from the linebacker core to the defensive backs, why were there so many dang missed tackles? Man, before Seahawks get here, before we play the Seahawks, please clean that garbage up. Man, I got to give it to Myles Garrett. Dude, you are, to me, the most valuable player in the league, at least the defensive player in the league. But if there's any favors that I have of you, if there's anything I can ask, please limit these offside penalties. Okay? You don't want 2 or 3 of them per game because that hurts the defense. We appreciate the sacks, the tackles for losses. The block punt was absolutely amazing. But, man, please limit those offside penalties. The defense, man, I don't know about the best in the world. I think we're going to have to get back to San Francisco. Man, y'all got whooped. As a matter of fact, the Browns got whooped at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball. And I think that was why we had such a high-scoring game. The special teams was amazing. The kicker, man, that trade, I think, man, we have one of the best kickers in the league. To think of where we went from the last year or two to where we're at now, Hopkins, man, you are a hell of a kicker. Matter of fact, man, brother, I picked you up on my fantasy team, and, man, you racked up some points for me today. Okay? But the refs, I wish the NFL refs, the refs have to do a better job. There are too many games that they are missing really big calls. I don't know if they need to go through retraining. I don't know if they need to bring, maybe I think they need to have, where they can people can just challenge. Maybe they need to challenge it from upstairs. They can go and do reviews of calls and change calls that maybe were missed by the refs. Because these refs are missing absolutely horrible calls. Horrible. And even if they weren't sure if they got the call right, I'd rather it almost be a do-over, a redo, rather than a game being decided by a call. I'd rather them just do a replay, and if it's determined that yes, there was a missed call, then just do a redo. But these calls is gonna, man, they're gonna be at the end of the season when it is head to head. They're going to be monumental, determining who's going to the playoffs and who's not. And I hate that for Indy. All right. But with that said, man, looking forward to the Seahawks next game. I hope Deshaun's shoulder is all right. That looks horrible. Not only just his head, the way it snapped back and hit the field, but the way his shoulder, man, looked with him going down. So hopefully they can get him back. Offensive line, man, Cleveland, y'all need to look for offensive linemen. I know, man, Jack Conklin got hurt, but one thing I noticed that tackle, Jarek Wills, get his behind out of the league. He don't need to be playing in the NFL. He need to be in the CFL. That dude is horrible. He's going to get somebody killed. So please get rid of Jarek Wills. He is not an NFL tackle. If it was me, I would put DeJuan Jones, maybe put him at left tackle and move Jarek Wills over to the right. Because Jarek Wills, we're going to be on a fifth string quarterback with him back there. I'm just telling y'all. But those were my points, man. It was a good game. I didn't expect it to be a high scoring game. I thought Cleveland would dominate, but Gardner Minshew, man, you were very impressive. That Colts offensive line and the defensive line, very impressive. And I'm excited to see where the Colts end up next year. You know, it's unfortunate that Anthony Richardson was knocked out the way that he was. But Indy, man, they're going to have a solid year. That's my second team. Personally, I hope they lose the rest of the year because I would like for them to get Marvin Harrison Jr. But as we know, they're probably not. And they're probably going to waste it on some scrub. But we'll see. Man, leave your thoughts below. Comment, like, share. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll do another recap next week. Peace, love, and I'm out, man. Thank y'all for tuning in.